Sorry.
Hey, AfterBuzz TV fans, tune in now for Season 4, Episode 7, recap of How to Get Away with Murder, Nobody Roots for Goliath.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Is this always
Oh, God, I love it. Yeah, what are you talking about? This is the theme song. It's the intro.
It just sounds so new today.
I know, it feels so fresh, as in day one.
It feels alright.
Even though we're on Season 4, Episode 7, we only have one episode more after this.
Lucky number 7.
This half season.
Lucky
Crazy. Lucky
7.
number 7. Great episode today. We are one short. Sterling is out of town, unfortunately.
Come
We
back.
have the rest of the crew here. April, where can they find you?
Hey everybody, y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant.
And you can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
Awesome, and you guys can find me, JB, everywhere at Hey John Blake. Let's talk about this episode. Pretty crazy stuff. Connor proposed.
Right?
Whoa, with like a bread tie.
All of the Colliver lovers out there, is that what that's what they're called, right?
Colliver? Colliver?
Colivers?
Who made up
I don't
that?
know.
I've heard that before, but sometimes people call them different stuff. But
Fair enough.
I know everyone's so happy. I'm actually like finally on board with them a little bit.
Really?
Which is a big step for me because y'all know my feelings about the annoyingness. But it also just tells me that bad things are coming. Because every time when people get really happy when good things are happening with them,
the
it's
show
just like,
destroys
no. Oh, y'all, Sterling's out of town. We miss her too.
Literally,
Oh.
when Colliver were having their thing, April looks at the TV and she goes, he's gonna die.
I was like,
Just,
ouch.
that's it. That's
Yeah.
it for him. Which, I mean, you might be right, because it seems, again, everything at the end of the episode kind of led up to Connor probably being hurt. We don't know if he dies. We don't know, like, what the extent of the whatever it is, or that if it's even 100% him, but everything leads us to believe that he's in surgery. I mean, they were saying, like, he's this, he's that. Michaela kind of chimes in. There's a very jump-cutty montage of he.
Yeah.
If it is Connor having surgery, he's not gonna die.
Right.
He's gonna make it. It's just gonna be like this big thing. Because Connor just found out about the whole plan that they're having. So he's either gonna barge in there like, no, I'm not gonna let you do this. They're gonna ruin your life. Like, you know, he's who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, just propose. Like, kill a dude on his proposal day.
True.
The nerve of them.
I know, right? Well, gosh, I know. But what you just said is so important. This whole time we've been thinking like death,
Right.
death because of all the blood, but it's not necessarily a death.
Yeah.
Someone could
Yeah,
just be
just-
seriously maimed. Like,
Very good point. No one has to die in this
Yeah.
show. I mean, we easily jump to conclusions like 0 to 60 or 0 to death.
Because that's what
or-
we're used
yeah,
to.
exactly. 0
We're
to
so
murder.
ready for like, just die.
Pretty
okay.
much everybody's
Yeah.
murdered.
but
Very good point, though.
were y'all surprised that Oliver said no? Or he didn't necessarily say no. Well, he did, but then he was like, this is why
Yeah.
I've been lying
No.
to you.
He didn't say no officially,
Well, he
but
was
he
like,
was like,
"I
I'm sorry,
can't."
yeah.
He said, I can't.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
no.
he got to get some stuff off his chest.
I
I mean, he's
wasn't-
been lying to him for a good amount of time.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised because I knew that he was keeping secrets, and I know that Oliver being who he is, and especially with Connor being so happy, you can't say yes and just bring him. That's just trifling. If he
Yeah.
were to
Right.
say yeah and act like it was nothing, then it would have been even worse when Connor found out. We
Yeah.
know that he's gonna find out some way or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally. Very good point about saying, like, Oliver, like, being who he is. Like, he, let us not forget, is the only one from the crew that's basically not been involved directly with any murder. I mean, the worst he's ever done is really
Run out
covered
of
up
West.
some like, phone records, really. I mean, hacked some places.
What are we talking about?
Oliver.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's never been directly a part of any murder or necessarily of a cover-up that he knew about. It wasn't like, I know about this murder, I'm going to help do all these things to cover it up.
Yeah. Well, he did once he ended up finding out.
Right. I
Well,
mean,
it was-
things kind
it
of
was to
unraveled,
help
but he was
Annalise,
already
obviously.
right. But he was kind of already involved with doing the motions. Like, there was
Yeah.
never been a time where he's like, we're doing this for this person because I was a party to the murder.
Yeah.
You know, it was never like covering his own ass. Everything was for other people, to help people because he wanted to.
But also their main issues in the past have been lying.
Yeah.
Think about the huge thing that when Connor found out that Oliver deleted his Sanford acceptance letter, whatever it was.
Right.
And then obviously
pretty
all the
messed up.
lies that Connor told. The times that they've broken up before have always been because of that. It's because, I was so comfortable just lying to you, or, that was Oliver's excuse. Connor was different, obviously, but I think he's like, we can't actually do this. This is such a huge, real step. We can't do this with this lie happening.
The
Right.
thing too, though, is that lie would literally break the relationship.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that would be, I feel, one of the last straws for the two of them.
Yeah, it would be done.
It was the smartest thing to start clean, especially if you truly want to spend the rest of your life with this person. And then Connor telling him that my dad actually doesn't think that you're a good fit for me. He was just being so honest and so open and so vulnerable, which we don't see from Connor. We never
Right.
see this giddy him. So if Oliver would have took advantage of that, there would be no more Colliver.
Yeah.
That sounds like cauliflower, by the way.
It does. It's kind of a tongue twister every time I say it. I'm like,
Colliver.
I don't like it, cauliflower.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it's better than
Oliver.
I don't even.
Olicon.
It's
Can I
hard.
tell you
It's
something?
the worst.
What?
Someone in the chat room said that
Olivner.
What?
someone in the chat room said that the showrunners were taking Thanksgiving too seriously since it's a winter finale already.
Yeah.
I know.
And I felt so bad because I'm that person. Like, I just want to eat.
Danae Washington said that.
Totally.
But they are but they did this last time too. We have what? I mean, I should know the date that it comes back before I say this, but I'm pretty sure it's like a few months. It's a long time.
Yeah, I
It's a
think it's
holiday
until
thing.
the winter. I believe it's February. I have to check.
think it's February,
That's
too.
pretty late, actually.
Which
it should
is,
be
yeah.
January.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
I mean, it's already like pretty much mid-November already. It's like 2 months. I can't. Yeah, this year has flown.
It's gonna
by.
fly by, but still,
Right.
Because as long as
Not
they don't,
soon enough.
if they don't play with us next episode and they're telling us we're gonna find out what happened, but you can't believe them because they always lying to us.
You never find out all of it. No matter
Exactly.
what.
Yeah.
But if we in fact get something good enough, like that big bone that I could just hold me over for 2 months, I'm good. I can wait. Yeah, like
Yeah, no, see, that's why I'm surprised that we haven't found out a little bit more at this stage. I mean, we found out a lot, but in terms of like the big, shocking
We still have
moments,
no idea.
we're like, it's crazy. And it seemed like there was two sort of like crime scenes.
Yeah.
The elevator situation that was at Annalise's hotel and, the Goldman workplace, the office.
We still don't know. Okay.
And, like, the
Nate
connection-
is unaccounted for.
Right.
Nate and Connor
True.
are both unaccounted for. Everyone else.
and the baby.
We've
Right.
seen.
And
I
the
mean,
baby.
obviously.
Which we don't know the sex of.
Okay, guys, I'm probably jumping all over the place, but since we're talking about who unaccounted for, Jacqueline, Isaac's ex-wife,
Yes.
she's gonna have a big part next episode, and let me tell you why. When Annalise signed those papers, the camera zoomed past her name and it said shh. And it only does that when it's like a clue or something that we usually miss, and then we go
Right.
back and be like, oh, we did see her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she up to something sketchy, and then Isaac is actually going to reveal it next episode, because when Annalise tells her it was your ex-wife that tried to set you up, he goes,
Biatch.
you should stay away from her because she's psycho.
Yeah.
She led my daughter to commit suicide. I hope that's not the case. I know that that's sensitive, but show-wise, it might have happened.
I mean, he still is okay with her, though, so I imagine that, well, I guess, obviously, even if you originally think someone was more of a party to leading someone to suicide, maybe at first, but then you ultimately realize, no, it was that person. Because they seem pretty okay now, like, in the world of things before Annalise finds out, or before Annalise tells him, but, I mean, clearly, I don't think it's just, like, I want to protect him, you're triggering him,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. But he definitely lied to Annalise. Like, I do think she's triggering him. We've seen he's a totally different person now than when he was at the beginning. But I also think that's because he clearly has feelings for Annalise, and she clearly has feelings for him.
Right.
I don't think she has feelings for
At
him.
the drop,
She
she
has
was
Whoa.
crying.
She had, but not because she has feelings for him. She has feelings for Nate because she wanted to go in for a kiss, and that's
Oh.
my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I know. But do you
She
feel the
did do
chemistry?
that. She
You feel the
did that.
chemistry.
I feel the chemistry between Isaac and Annalise only because they are both so broken.
Yeah, that's
That's a good
true.
point.
It's like
Okay.
two people.
Yeah.
They have so
No, I'm
much
totally
in
on board with
common that she feels his pain and he feels hers.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, you know, like.
Yeah, there's like an I get you vibe.
Yeah. And I just want to
of
hug
the
you and I just
relationship.
want to love you because I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through. Like, I want to be your person. However, her person is Nate, so you need to back up.
Right.
Okay?
But she keeps saying, and I think they're doing this on purpose, like, oh, this is what Sam did, and she's equating it to the things that he's doing. She keeps saying, like, oh, he's the one that made me feel like it wasn't my fault, and he's like, it's not your fault. So that's why I think they're trying to at least, like, put those ideas in our minds. Clearly it's working. I think it's obvious. But and just the two of them, like, the actors just have good chemistry together.
Right.
But Annalise definitely was trying to get that kiss from Nate, and I was here for it.
He curved
You said
her.
no, though.
He curved her.
You were like, no. I was like, yes.
Because it would have been too soon to happen. Like, if they would have just dove back in it, it would have been like, oh my gosh. Like, they needed to tease us a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He came in. I'm not going to do it to you, JB.
What?
I mean,
Oh,
well,
I know.
no,
I'm gonna
okay,
leave it
no,
alone.
I think, yeah, we all got where you were going with it. No, I mean, to that extent, I am down with Annalise and Nate, like, having a thing.
Are you
I
more
like his-
Annalise and Nate or Annalise and Isaac?
Definitely more Annalise and Nate, between the two of them. Because
Okay.
I think they just make way more sense. Like, Nate, like, clearly cares for her after, like, everything that we've seen him do in
After
his
she
own
framed him for
office.
murder.
She was spending the
Exactly.
night, y'all. That's a big deal.
But
you
he
let
put
her
her
in your
on the-
house.
You put her on the couch though. So
That was
Right.
that's actually I didn't think about that. That's trifling. What kind of man? You should have took the couch and
she
gave her
should
the
have
bed.
had the bed. She should have had the bed. If a
I mean,
female
she-
stay with you,
okay.
like a friend,
Yeah,
would you
well,
give them
duh.
your bed?
Well, I
Not that
mean-
you expect it, but you
JB
would offer
wouldn't
it.
give up his bed.
Well, I mean, I probably wouldn't take the couch as well, but I mean, you can platonically sleep in the same
sure.
bed.
You
It's
could-
fine.
I do that.
That's the
for
thing.
But in that situation, that's different. Like if
Yeah.
your ex shows up and she's like down and out,
Right,
are you gonna
yeah.
give her your bed and you sleep on the couch?
No,
You're
no,
gonna sleep in the bed with her?
absolutely
All right,
not.
so he's not gonna back away
Right.
from the kiss.
Well,
He's
no,
gonna go
I mean, she
in.
can have the bed too, but like again, especially if it's an ex, I feel like there wouldn't be a problem, or I would be easier to like restrain myself.
Do
or I
y'all
wouldn't
hear
be,
him?
like-
Maybe.
Yeah, it
Saying.
would be easier to restrain yourself, but what?
But it's still like that closeness. I don't know. I think they obviously did that because they can't.
Well, yeah, I mean,
actually
Is it-
say
is it
different.
coming from, like,
visually
lower
for the
states?
show,
Maybe.
like I think it made more sense because it's like it was a very clear like this is not happening. I
Well,
will
yeah.
let you stay over and like.
For the
have the
purpose
comfort
of
of my
TV, if we saw them sleep in the same bed, we probably
Right, would
thought
assume
one thing.
something
So
different.
that's why. But I
Totally.
was still like, ooh, he didn't give her his bed.
Yeah, that was not gentlemanlike.
Right. I
That
mean,
was trifling.
even Nate has his flaws every now and then.
It's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
granted,
We'll forgive you this time.
Granted, though, he doesn't really like Annalise. Like, they have chemistry, but it's almost like I still can't stand you. 'Cause
Well,
you're
yeah,
a
I mean,
witch.
she like has thrown him under the bus so many times
Day
and
bot.
destroyed his whole life.
Dada says, JB, you give the woman the bed, just manners.
Well, yeah, I said she would get to sleep in the bed as well. Again, this is like
JB says you get a half.
You know
I
what?
get a half.
say, I'm not ruining mine day.
True. He did give her like the good sheets. I noticed that high thread count on
Right.
those sheets.
Yeah.
The
your
very
pillow.
important things of how to get away with murder.
It was the arms.
Oh yeah.
He had on that muscle shirt. I said
All
I wasn't
right,
gonna
now
go
we're back
there.
to this.
I know. Okay. I just needed to get that out. Phew.
But Nate is fully like, I mean,
Body.
he's not fully like back on the Annalise train, obviously, but he is. You can tell that he's
He's
really
warming up to it.
receptive.
He's warming up to it.
He's receptive to her doing these nice things. He's even taking up for her in the
Right.
case of Bonnie. But he's always been like, you know, he wants everyone to do the right thing. He's fought for Annalise to do the right thing for Bonnie. What are you?
What is
talking about?
happening in the chat right now?
JB out here sleeping in the same bed as all his
yes,
exes.
dude.
Now
Sharing
read the
is
one right before.
caring. Exactly,
Dario,
dude. That's
I don't
what
know
I'm
how to say
saying.
that.
That's what I'm saying. I assume he's got a bed big
Ooh.
enough for two if they were
Did you
dating
see
for
the
so
one
long.
right below?
Hello.
They does. I'll take half of JB's bed. Wink.
Wait.
Love.
I have
confusion
real
via
tears
AfterBuzz.
falling.
Just wink. Kiss
Because
emoji.
I was trying not to laugh and you were saying a really good point and I glanced
Oh, thank
over
you. And you saw that.
and you know when you try to hold your laugh it makes it worse.
And it's just like,
JB, you out here and sleeping with
Go.
all your exes?
No, I'm just saying if one came to me in need, I would obviously help them out. I wouldn't force them to sleep on the couch.
JB is.
But
a
I have enough
gentleman.
like control
That
to
made
make
me
it not
laugh.
weird in
We'll
in
see.
a bed.
We're just
Especially
teasing
if
you.
you have like such a like long past. Like
We'll
they
see.
do.
TBD.
All right, fair
We're
enough.
just teasing. Okay.
Just have to
But
find
you
out.
were making a really good point.
Thank you. But I
But.
think that the way that he handled Bonnie in this situation. And I'm kind of happy, y'all know.
Nate handled Bonnie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all know my, like, dislike for Bonnie as
Yeah.
well. I'm glad that she's getting, like, called out.
Same.
There's a part of me that feels bad for her or felt bad for her when I think about all the stuff she's gone through. But it's like, Annalise, what has she really done to her? She's only done stuff to protect her. Now, she's been savage, but also Bonnie's been savage toward Annalise. So
Yeah.
it's like, she's going so far. I'm just happy that he called her out on the Dr. Isaac thing.
Yeah, I'm
that's
happy
like way too far.
I'm happy he put 2 and 2 together because for someone else to see it, it was like good finally. But you know what? Annalise missed it. Like when Isaac was like, "Did Bonnie tell you?" She should have been like, "Why would Bonnie tell me? Have you been talking?" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Do you think she just wanted to like get to the point, or do you think she missed it?
I don't think it was resonating because she's talked to him about Bonnie, so
Right.
obviously he knows who Bonnie is and he knows the role that she played in her life. So in her mind, she probably just didn't put it together that it was something. It was anything else outside of the conversations that the two of them have had.
Right.
And because she was trying to also make her point, but she's a sharper cookie than that. So
Yeah.
I wanted her to be like, no, it was your ex, but Bonnie, what? You know what I mean? Like,
I think she'll get there, obviously, when she really thinks about it. Like, why would he ever say Bonnie would mention that she was triggering
Right.
him?
Yeah.
Like, just because she's spoken about Bonnie to him doesn't mean that he actually knows her.
Right.
So I think
Right.
she'll get there, and maybe that's who he's talking. Or, well, obviously, we see him call Annalise, but maybe that's the connection. I don't know. I still don't get all this stuff.
Yeah, how he
has
gets
no
so
idea
close,
who
yeah.
Laurel is, right? I mean, other than
Not-
just their
not at the
conversations.
moment, yeah.
He has no idea who Laurel is. He has no idea who Frank is.
Right. I don't think he knows anyone specifically outside other than Bonnie.
He doesn't know
that he's
Michaela
met.
either.
Nate-
He's
Yeah.
so
Nate
clearly
knows
like
him.
Michaela.
Nate knows him though,
Yeah.
so maybe
Right.
Nate brings him in on something.
Well, Nate only knows about him like from like afar. Like
But what I'm
he
saying,
only
maybe
like
Nate's
knew.
gonna out them.
Maybe, so Dr. Isaac was court ordered for Annalise,
Right.
obviously. Remember the phone conversation that I always bring up at the beginning where he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
she's here. Maybe it's like Nate keeping tabs on it.
Or
because
his
he obviously
ex-wife.
works for the office.
It was his ex-wife. He was on the phone with his therapist. Now that I know her, and he was like, "Okay, she's here, my new client." He probably was telling because I'm pretty sure he read up about her case, so he probably was talking to her like, "Okay, this person's also
That's a
addict."
good
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why Jacqueline's gonna come back up and be psycho like Bonnie. Jacqueline is Bonnie's mom.
Whoa.
Okay,
That's crazy.
That was a
That's
joke.
crazy.
That was a joke. But they share the same psyche.
I'm
But
putting it on your list
yeah.
of predictions.
Speaking of Bonnie, though, I mean, let's talk about her 180 a little bit. I mean, it's not a full 180, but we can see she's coming back to Team Annalise. We saw this coming.
What?
That's what you feel?
What? Yeah.
She did the opposite.
She put the vodka bottle. I would fight her.
She put the vodka bottle on the counter. She also she got
Got
Dr.
Dr.
Isaac
Isaac
to
on the
go
stand.
because she thought Dr. Isaac was gonna rat Annalise out.
No, she said the opposite afterwards. She said that.
She said that to Nate.
So you
But
think she was like
I think she
totally
was
lying?
telling
Oh, okay.
the DA, right?
Interesting.
The DA. I think she was telling him the truth, or the Attorney General, whatever. I think she was
Interesting.
telling him the truth, where she was like, "No, I thought he was going to do this." Why would
Maybe
she
I'm
put the
giving Bonnie too much credit.
No,
then.
Why
okay.
would she put the bottle there?
I could see what you mean because I did see that. Like I saw it a little bit
Right.
where she knows that Dr. Isaac is Team Annalise, right? She knows that because of how
Yeah.
he treated her. So I could see her having him come on the stand so that Annalise can get a win. But at this point, she doesn't know what she want to do because then you go and you try to make a statement by putting a bottle on her desk. Now, had she drank that vodka,
That was before Dr. Isaac.
no, that
on
was
the stand.
after.
Oh, okay.
Because then
That
she
was
grabs
before.
that was after.
Okay.
Because then she wants her. Then she wins her
Oh,
her certification.
Breon. Bonnie can't be trusted.
No.
In all caps. I do agree to that. I do. I mean, you got to watch her with both eyes. I need another eye just to watch Bonnie.
Why would she want Annalise to do good at this point? I feel like all she's
Well, I mean,
doing.
even if it's like subconsciously, I feel like Bonnie. There's no world where Bonnie doesn't eventually come back to Team Annalise. Like she was such a broken person pre-Annalise. Annalise like molded her into a like functional member of society.
I don't want
Okay.
her.
And I mean,
I don't want her on the
Totally.
team. She can't be on our side.
I don't
fair
think so
enough.
either.
Fair enough.
So
I
you
mean,
think that was a move of her coming back to Annalise I think it's right.
Right,
I think it's
right, yeah. I mean, even if she was like, oh yeah, like I don't know. I feel like even on the subconscious level, where like she like thought it was a good idea on paper, or like hey, she like knew. There's no way that she could have gone through all that research, doing therapy with Dr. Isaac, realizing how good he actually was and how caring of a therapist he was, and been like, yeah, he'll totally turn on Annalise. Like, that's crazy.
Maybe. Or maybe she thought that he would, you know, he's a stand-up guy and does the right thing because he kicked her off as soon as he found out this information and thought he wouldn't lie on the stand. Even though he didn't, Isaac. He didn't lie. I mean, he said what his opinion was. So.
Fair enough.
He kind of lied.
He kind of lied,
Sort
but
of,
also
sort of. I mean,
not.
yeah, and the reasoning that he came up with, I think, is quintessential Dr. Isaac. Like,
Great
he was
reason.
like, he was more worried about if the case went south for Annalise, that would like take her into a like worse condition.
Yeah.
And so like the safer option was to do that, which
Right.
makes so much sense. Like that, it like, and even Bonnie like knows Annalise, like knows how much she cares about every case, like what she will go through to win, which is, you know, murder or covering up murders
Whatever.
at least. So pretty much anything.
Yeah.
And so like that, I feel like all of those factors kind of
That's true.
add up.
I'm curious to find out who Nate's person is. He said when she got her certification for the
When she won that thing. Yeah.
that he would tell her or give her a number.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think that is?
Well, I thought it was the person that took the photos. No.
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 Is it?
All right.
No. Who
Well, I
is
don't know
it?
what other number.
Who could it be?
I think it's going to be a random.
No, it's not going to be a random. It's going to be somebody that we're going to be like,
Who has he ever had a connection with? I mean, I can't put two and two together at this
Eve.
point.
It's not Eve.
We
How
still
could it?
don't have
She would-
answers.
she would
I am
know.
confusion.
Oh, wait.
I'm with you.
I do want to say this really quick though. Jordan Jackson just said it in the chat. I lost it. Oh, Bonnie smirked / smiled when AK won. So we have to address that. So I guess you're right. If she smiled, even if she is doing it for an
Right?
ulterior motive, so she can like beat her
Totally.
eventually. I guess she.
But
Was
she's
happy.
crazy.
She is
that's
crazy.
what
She
that's
is
what they
crazy.
do.
Yeah.
Like my thing is, so this is my thing with Bonnie. She's always been very wish-washy. Like I just need her to pick a side and stick to it,
Right.
and then maybe I will respect her. Either you are on Team Annalise or you are not on Team Annalise. If you are not on Team Annalise, then you shouldn't be smiling. If
Yeah.
you are on Team Annalise, then do your part. Maybe just stay off the case, or maybe
Yeah.
just live your life. Like do something, but pick a goddamn on side.
Ain't that
No,
the truth?
that's amen to that. Like I think she is definitely the most like flip floppy character, at least
Yeah.
this season, and so it's been very hard to tell like where her allegiance lies.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very like sneaky character to begin
always
with,
been that way. Yeah.
and even more so now that she's had like so much motive like on both angles to play both sides, which is
Right.
what she's been doing. And I think, you know, maybe it's confusing to her as well. Like I don't even know if she's like preemptively deciding like, hey, this is the master plan. Like I think she's just so, I mean, we know her past. It's very tumultuous to say the least. I think she's just kind of a more reactionary character that kind of that gets more carried away with her emotions and kind of what's bubbling up, and just kind of overreacts in different ways and doesn't really think things through completely, which is why she's no Annalise.
Well, she has a lot of trauma, obviously, that gets her to that point. But I also think she's just got a screw
Yeah.
too loose. But while we're just how we were saying, like the band eventually has to be back together, we clearly know what's about to get them back together. And
Right.
as soon as they get back together, it's going to be in shambles because we already hear now that Asher knows. He's like, or I'll just tell Bon Bon, and someone's
Yeah,
like,
speaking
oh,
of
don't tell
flip floppy,
Connor.
Asher.
Yeah,
God.
don't tell Connor because he'll tell Annalise. Like
Frank's on the team now too.
Frank's on the team.
Frank's always on the team. I feel
Everybody's
like
on the
even
team.
like Frank is always.
He tried to be fake mad. We knew that wasn't gonna last.
Yeah,
Frank.
just come on,
Like,
Frank. Come on.
Frank is officially, not officially like
No, he's
paternity
Laurel's,
test wise,
Yeah.
but he is baby daddy.
he's
Yeah.
Laurel's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And
He's gonna
I
be
would
the-
say, yeah, he's like the most loyal character of any of the
Yeah,
of the
scary
people on the
loyal.
shows.
Yeah.
So much so, like
Scary
now I'm starting to think like maybe it is his baby, and
It's not.
I mean, I still think it's Wes. I still want it to be Wes's because I want there to be a chance of like Wes cameos every now
Little
and again.
wait list.
But it just kind of adds like a different dynamic that's like interesting to follow. That being said, the more like we see Frank, like the less I really care about it.
West. Aw, that's pretty.
I
No,
mean,
about the baby
sorry,
being
Wes,
his. I
but
still
I mean,
care about him, and it
you know
still
what I
hurts my
mean?
heart
Like
when
that's why, like
when
you
they
know,
talk about him.
It's gonna be a chocolate baby.
But I think the only reason, or not the only reason, but a reason that's kind of sticking out in my mind a lot now that it would be Frank's is because of what you just said. You would like
Right.
to still see Wes cameos. It is extremely difficult. I just spit a little bit. It is extremely difficult to get an actor, especially someone like
Right,
him,
for such a small
to come
period of
back
time,
and just
yeah.
like every now and then, like,
Yeah.
oh hey, we killed you off, but also can you like come?
Can you fly
can you come here
to a
and-
day, for a day?
So
Great.
it's more reason for them to make it be Frank's
Right.
baby.
Somebody said something that was important, and I can't see it anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
and it definitely makes their
Oh, yeah, the
relationship
timeline.
stronger too. Like you know, if Frank has like a child now, like within the group, like his relationship is strengthened like tenfold.
We haven't seen Frank in the flash forward. Isn't he in the room with Laurel?
No. Oh yeah, he is.
He is. He's in the. I believe so.
Who was
I'm
it
pretty
that
sure.
said
He's
what-
like with her.
Oh,
Was-
lovely LJ. The timeline is messed up because Bonnie is at both scenes.
So that's interesting to me too, because she goes into the Annalise's apartment, and then she's also at
Kaplan and Gold.
Kaplan and Gold.
And let's not forget how last season they made us think that Wes was safe because they kept showing him in the flash
Right.
forward, but actually it was way earlier that day that was happening. So, but
yes,
I mean, how do we even
misdirection.
put that together slightly? The Wes thing we should have been able to guess, but this is two totally different places. It could be at the same time, could be at two different times, but probably not.
Asher could be in custody, not because of anything that happened at the scenes, but because he was
True.
He probably lost his mind
Very
and was gonna
true.
snitch. And they were, and Michaela called the police and said he just hit me, like
Yeah.
just to
Right.
lock him up and keep him
Totally,
out
yeah.
of
He
it.
could be, or yeah, it's like Connor could have killed someone, be in jail also,
Yeah.
and then like Asher like punched some guy in the face at the scene,
Right.
and is
So,
also in jail.
so we
Yeah,
don't
totally.
even know why
100%.
Asher's in jail.
Very
he might
good
not be
point.
the suspect.
Very good point.
Actually, I don't really think he is anyway.
Yeah,
I
I-
mean,
me.
yeah.
unless he just.
Well-
Unless he took the blame on purpose.
Totally.
But-
Ooh, yeah, that's a good theory.
Because Michaela is
Yeah, like
so
stepping-
like disheveled when we
Totally.
see her. Even in the flash forward, it almost looks like she has burn marks on her face a little bit. It could be that
Yeah.
she did something, and he. Because I don't put it past Asher because he's clearly a little off. But Michaela seems like she could actually do it, and just
Right.
the way she's reacted before. So he could just be taking the blame for her on something. But that him like being the suspect is the least of my worries at this point, just because I'm like, why is Annalise in a shower crying? Why is there blood at two different places? Why is everyone like,
And those are adult hands
yeah, those are big hands.
in
Yeah.
her elevator, but we could assume that it's Connor's because her and Connor are attached at the hip, and
Right.
he has nothing to do with the other side, or he went to Anna. Connor's the one who tells Annalise everything because Oliver goes to them and says she knows it all.
Also, it's worth noting like how high the bloodstains go. I mean, we're talking about like the possibility of an impromptu birth and like that being like at least one of the crime scenes.
Couldn't
Right.
that be
And-
Laurel that they're trying to resuscitate on the table?
No,
It didn't say male.
it didn't.
It said adult. And then
Well,
like,
on the,
and so that
on
could be
the
earlier and
screen
then
it said adult,
later.
but they said the doctors.
Yeah,
said
Oh,
the doctor
in
did
surgery
say
they
he-
said he.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
They said his
Digress
V
that
line
theory.
is
Right.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's the
exactly.
baby or Connor.
Totally. And I wish they told us the sex of the baby. It would have felt so much.
we know the sex of the baby. It's a boy.
It is a boy.
Yeah.
Oh, but it said adult on the thing, so it's
Okay, I
not
did
It
say
said
that.
because we
True.
we went back
Yeah.
and paused it when we saw the
Frame
flat
by
line.
frame.
I just wanted to
Very
look for
point.
names.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, it just said adult. Okay, here's the thing. Jacqueline is responsible for the death. I mean, the blood at AK's apartment.
Who?
Jacqueline.
the
Okay.
Dr.
Oh, this
Isaac,
is what you're
ex
thinking. Okay.
Dr. Isaac.
She's responsible for the blood there, and that's a whole thing there, which is why Isaac is trying to call her and reach her, but he doesn't know that she's unreachable because your ex-wife just tried to kill her. And that's why she's somewhere on the floor. That's why she's not in custody. She didn't necessarily do anything. The ex-wife is just jealous because Isaac fell in love with Annalise.
Right, and perhaps that gives Dr. Isaac more reason to show up because he knows that his ex is like off the rails and like very much interfering, very much going like over the line.
But why would that make him show up for Laurel?
Rob makes me think about something. So you know how
Well, maybe he was like following her.
who was following who?
Following, like if this is a big conspiracy theory, but if Mrs. X
Jacqueline.
Dr. Rowe, Jacqueline, thank you, her actual name.
I think that's her name. at least.
If she was like keep coming to Annalise, and now Dr. Isaac knows that he can like follow his ex-wife to Annalise, this whole thing like kind of unfolds, and he like tries to follow her. Maybe she leads him astray, and he meets up with the kids to like tell him what happened.
No, because he doesn't know the kids. So Annalise had to have led him there, or somebody texted her, or she might have said, meet me at the hospital. Like something might have happened where she was supposed to meet him there, which is why he was there, and he's calling her like, where you at? Because he doesn't know the kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not close enough to walk into the hospital room.
Right. She's just like, I'm on my way, or meet me at the hospital. Laurel's there.
And then something happens while she's trying to walk out. So Rob said, I hope nobody tried to sexually assault Annalise, which made me think about, you know, when she thought someone was in her
Very
apartment.
topical.
When someone thought she was in her apartment and she went to grab her gun, maybe she just is on edge at some point, and she does
She's definitely on
accidentally
edge.
shoot somebody.
Ooh.
Who's not the, you know what I mean? And which is why she's on the floor in the shower, like,
I kind of think the same
I
thing.
didn't mean to do that.
Like
Whoa,
it's
you
like
guys just blew my
we've
mind
always
right
talked
now.
about Annalise not killing anybody.
Yeah.
But like maybe she.
But by
I don't
accident,
think
totally.
she did like in cold blood. I think she just like someone was attacking
Yeah,
her.
she-
Someone broke in. Maybe hopefully she didn't kill them.
Oh, I hope
But-
she doesn't, because that means she would finally like have a body, like an
Yeah.
actual body count.
Right.
But
If she go back to jail, she could get a
And we
teardrop.
know Connor's been in her place a bunch of times. Maybe knows
Also-
to sneak in now.
Kaplan and Gold.
She killed Connor.
Maybe
Well, I don't think she kills him,
accidentally.
but I could see a scenario where like she accidentally shoots him or
I
something.
could too, because
What
she's
were
so
you-
freaked out.
Yeah.
Kaplan and Gold situation. It's a lot of people being just like,
Oh, because of the
and
party.
we still haven't seen Simon there. So we've been on like, okay, maybe it could be Tegan because of her key card. Well, no. Now I almost think they like find Simon's body now. And
I don't
poor
think so.
thing, y'all.
Ooh.
Tonight I was like, well, maybe I just feel bad for him because I think he's gonna die. But I was like, oh, this poor kid. He's just like trying to stay in the United States.
Yeah,
like he's trying
I
not
felt
to get
bad for him for
deported.
that.
And they use this. It's like Nate over again. They see like a little thing with Nate. They're like, oh,
Right.
you have this slightly off thing, so I can frame you for murder. Now it's him. It's like, oh, I have your passwords because of this, and so you think I'm helping you, but now I'm gonna use you to get into this super secretive account.
Yeah.
That.
And pin the blame on you and just have and get you deported, whatever. Now says he thinks Connor gets shot at Kaplan and Gold, and I'm gonna say no, because Oliver looked messed up, but not messed up as if Connor got shot at Kaplan and Gold. You know what I
Right.
mean?
He
I
looked
was
messed
thinking
up
that.
as if Simon did. Like when
Yeah.
he already
Like,
feels bad.
yeah.
And then he's like, oh crap, it really just happened.
Totally. Well, because I was thinking, like, because there's only one episode left, there can't be, like, that much crazy stuff that's
But
happening
we have
separately.
48 hours.
True. And so they could show everything very quickly, but I
Yeah.
think, like, maybe a possibility I wasn't thinking about before is, like, one event is at two places. Like, it starts at one, and then they go to the other location.
Because so much is going to
Makes
happen. So we're going to have the party, which is supposed to be a regular
Right.
and Taurus is going public kind of party. We're going to have the gang trying to break into the systems with Tegan's key
Exactly.
card. We're going to have
Simon's
Oliver.
framed for it.
We're going to have Connor crying to Annalise about how Oliver denied his proposal and they found out who killed Wes. We're going to have
And-
Dr. Isaac and
Oh,
AK.
because we know Annalise knows.
Because we know
The
that
flash
Annalise
forward.
is find out. We're gonna have Dr. Isaac and AK and his ex-wife going through it. Why did you tell her? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Laura's gonna have the baby. So like that 48 period is not just one thing.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
So it could go so many ways.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
why
man,
is
there's
Bonnie
much,
look
there's
so
so
good?
much that's about to go down.
Is it
right
a
now.
2-hour
It's like the best.
finale next week?
I don't think
I
so.
hope so.
think
I
it's
don't
just
think it
one.
is.
Wait,
Yeah.
who the heck is George?
What? Hope George,
George
dies?
dies.
Or do you mean
George.
Jorge? I
Jorge?
don't know who
Who's
Jorge is.
Jorge?
I don't know.
You making
there?
stuff
Yeah.
up. We
Is
don't
Laurel's
need no
dad
more.
still?
Oh,
Is
Jorge
Laurel's
Kid-
dad still in town or not? I think Laurel's. Yeah,
gonna come up.
I
He's
think
gonna
he's
pop
still
up.
in town.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
mean
don't know.
Castillo, Laurel's dad.
He
Oh, yeah,
doesn't. He doesn't stay in town for very long. He's kind of an in and out
But
type of
it's
dude.
their launch party to go public.
But
But
you
no,
know
is
who
that
we
he
haven't
would
talked about?
Who?
What's his name? The guy that actually killed Wes.
Oh, Dominic.
Dominic.
I forgot his name.
I
We
feel
haven't
like
seen
it's
him.
him. Well, that's what I mean. Okay, I think
Wait,
mega prediction right
what's
now.
him?
The person who dies. Because Oliver, like if it was Connor that was like super hurt, then I feel like Oliver wouldn't be just chilling at the office.
Unless Connor got her at AK's apartment and he doesn't know that anything's happened to Connor.
Right, if they were two separate events.
Okay.
Dominic
But-
is too.
He's too off, yeah, because we haven't seen him at all.
Got a little excited.
Yeah. And why would anyone have a reason to? I mean, Laurel is fully on her dad. It's like I feel like it would be too much to happen for her to change that and be like, oh, wait, it's Dominic. Now, obviously, she thinks Dominic is like, the puppet and her dad was the puppeteer, but they're not talking. The plan is not to kill anyone at this moment. The plan is to get her dad in jail. So clearly that goes awry. I mean, it's not like they're, packing guns.
Right, but I mean, she's not drugged by, like, part of the crew. It's not like Connor gets pissed off.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we still have to figure out why Laurel has those drugs in her system.
That's what someone just said.
That's
Janae
what I'm saying.
Washington,
Dominic's
Papa Pope
coming
has the
back.
baby.
He's not coming back. Maybe she showed up
he's
to the
coming
party.
back.
I think her dad has.
Something
I think
to
her
do
dad
with
has
it.
the baby.
And Annalise probably killed Dr. Isaac's ex-wife by accident.
Yeah.
Like, she probably came over. You told him? And Annalise grabbed her gun. You need to get out of my apartment before I da-da-da-da. You know how she do. Mm-hmm. This could go so many ways. Honestly, I just...
I mean, she did already say, like, you're so lucky I'm not hitting you right now.
Yeah.
But also, like, well, I guess I get why Annalise is mad, but she should only think that, I mean, clearly his ex-wife isn't telling her the whole story because she can't really, because,
Right.
I mean, it's also her business. It was her daughter. It was the suicide. But it's like, I feel like if she told Annalise that, like, it was our daughter that committed suicide, it was our child, Annalise would be like, oh, wow, okay, I understand. But clearly she's not giving her that information because that's her business too. But there's part of me that's like, why are you so mad, Annalise? Like, she's just trying to do the right thing by him.
But I think it's because Annalise was making progress in her therapy sessions. So when she finally opens up to someone for the first time, period, you come and you take that away and you prove to me that I was wrong to open up in the beginning, which I already knew. And somehow I let this doctor convince me that it was okay, and now you have this whole life of your own that's also a mess. Are you kidding me?
Right. You have to be able to put that aside. I mean, clearly the death or the suicide of your child is going to affect you no matter what forever.
But he did.
But as a psychologist, I can only imagine. Like,
He did his part. He just went to his therapist, who then took it upon herself to create a problem with the, you know what I mean?
But she said it's because she was noticing the signs. I mean, he was a heroin addict. He used to do all these drugs.
Or she was
when
jealous.
You see people making that behavior. I mean, I do think he seemed a little bit off the rails. I don't think he seemed totally cool,
Not
chill, like he was
using
dealing with it.
off
Right.
the rails though.
Right.
She
No,
probably
no.
sensed that you are too connected to her. You like you have some kind of attachment to her, and I don't like that because
She was jealous.
You know what I mean? Which could be the whole thing. Especially she knows where Annalise lives, so I don't think Annalise is going to insert herself into that.
Right.
Like, and she's still at her apartment in the shower. So someone came and invaded Annalise's privacy.
How
Right,
did,
or at
how
least
did all
her
these
place.
people all of a sudden know where she lives? It was like only Frank knew.
Right.
Yeah.
Then now we have Connor, obviously. How do these other people know?
Yeah, no idea.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, let's make some actual predictions for this next episode because we
Okay.
have to stick to our guns.
Solid sentence.
And
Okay.
now,
Actual-
your AfterBuzz
Like a
Prediction
one, like
is that
boom. This is what's happening at each crime scene.
Simon is, I'll say, hurt in some way
Okay.
because everything's blamed on him. They're already doing the research. People are caught. And I don't know who. I'm kind of with you on his ex-wife, but I think someone breaks into Annalise's house and she hurts them in some way because she is being attacked in some way.
Y'all, where is Frank? Oh, he's at the hospital. Frank's at the
Frank
hospital.
is at the hospital.
Somebody said Frank is a snitch. Okay, here's the thing. I was really trying to scroll through the comments to steal one of your predictions because I literally just don't know. But I couldn't scroll fast enough.
Oh, this is a good one. Annalise might actually blessing
Not being
repeat.
hotel. I saw that one too. Okay, my prediction is that Nate's gonna save the day. That's I don't really
Whoa,
believe
all
that.
right.
I don't really
Nice.
believe that, but I gotta say something and we don't have that much time.
I like it. I like it. What's yours, JB?
I think everything starts at the office. It escalates. They kind of split off into two different teams.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver kind of does his like tech thing while everybody else is like mingling, and
yeah.
things go south. Like maybe Dominic and Laurel's dad is there right now, so like there's a scuffle. Things like it like escalates to a chase, and they lead it back to Annalise's place, she gets out her gun and like saves them, committing her first murder. But self-defense, saving the babies, saving the kids.
We forgot to talk about Michaela ruining her wedding dress. I know we don't have
yeah.
time.
Oh, true
We're
story.
not going to talk
True
about
story.
it. But just quickly
I
type
can't.
how you
Why
$20,000.
didn't she just
Sell that.
sell it?
$20,000?
It was unused. You can sell unused wedding dresses.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh man, and we didn't talk about Asher being a completely brat, but he was so right for telling Michaela that he is not the second choice.
My prediction is
Stay
Asher
strong,
will dip some
Asher.
French fries
Stay
in
strong,
Michaela's
bro.
dress. Yes, best
He's
prediction.
gonna what?
ever.
We'll dip some French fries
in Michaela's dress.
Such a good prediction.
That's-
I'm
I
hungry,
mean-
actually.
I know, right?
Dang.
Why not?
Okay, we have to
Yeah.
talk about Asher being a baby because he's probably gonna mess it up as he's crying in the jail cell. And then just
Probably.
briefly, if we could talk about the $20,000 that she threw away, the Vera Wang dress. Are you kidding me? You
Give
could have
me that-
donated.
give me that dress. Give me
Okay.
that dress.
All right. Until next time, I guess.
Yeah.
Just-
Next week. Finale.
Oh my God! There's only one episode left. That is heartbreaking. Where can people find you guys?
Y'all
to
can find
cover
me
this?
everywhere at April Whisenhant.
And you can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
Awesome. You guys can find me everywhere at Hey John Blake. We will see you guys next week for the last episode for the hiatus.
We're gonna get all the answers next week.
Oh, yes.
That's
We
my
better.
prediction.
We better get those answers.
Bye,
Better.
guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.